Hello, welcome to the fifth session of Module 4 in Information Theory and Coding, subject code 18EC54. So we will study one more theorem with minimum distance. So this theorem states that a linear block code with a minimum distance represented as d minimum, it can correct up to d minimum minus 1 divided by 2 errors, and it can detect up to d minimum minus 1 errors in each of the code word. So in order to prove this theorem, let us consider that C represents the transmitted code word, R represents the received code word, and C dash represents another code word. Then if we consider the Hamming distance between CR, C dash R and C dash, then it has to satisfy the condition that distance between the code and R, distance between another code and R should always be greater than or equal to distance between C and C dash. This is with the fact that the distance between U and V is always equal to weight of U plus V. So with that notation, it has to we will conclude at this particular condition. Now let us consider that the distance between the actual code word and the received code word, okay, is equal to T dash. When your received code word is same as your C, the distance would be equal to 0. But if the error occurs during transmission, we know that my R is not same as C. If one error occurs, then R is different from the C which is transmitted by one position. If two error occurs, then R is quite different from C at two positions. So we can say that distance between C and R is equal to T dash if we assume that an error pattern containing T dash errors will occur. Only if the error occurs, then only the distance would be equal to T dash. If there are no errors, then this distance would be equal to 0 because R is same as C. Now, since we have assumed that d minimum actually represents the minimum distance, then the distance between C and C dash, which is actually the sum of distance between CR and C dash R, this one must be greater than d minimum. So we can say that d of C comma C dash must be greater than or equal to d minimum. So we are rewriting the same thing over here. So with this error pattern, we know that d of C comma R is equal to T dash. So now if we say that distance between C and R is T dash, whatever we are taking here, and the distance between C dash and R is equal to d min. C dash and R can be found with the help of this particular inequality whatever we are taking. That is, this we are substituting as T dash, okay, and this will be taken on the right hand side. That will give us d of C dash comma R must be greater than or equal to d of C comma C dash minus d of C comma R, right? So same thing we are writing here, d of C dash comma R must be greater than or equal to d of C comma C dash has been replaced with d minimum, assuming that we are taking a minimum value of d of C comma C dash minus d of C comma R is nothing but T dash. That is the same inequality we are rewriting in this particular form. Now this condition says that this distance between C dash and R must always be greater than this RHS. Okay. For example, if I take that the distance between C dash and R is equal to 1, then 1 should be greater than or equal to d minimum minus T dash. So if we need to be greater than or equal to d minimum minus T. In order to obtain this to be at least 1 here, what we will require is our d minimum must be equal to 2T dash. So if I take D minimum to be equal to 2T dash, so here we have two conditions. One is greater than condition and another is equal to condition. So now I am discussing about equal to condition. For equal to condition, I require my D minimum to be equal to 2 times of T dash. Then only 1 will be equal to 1. Otherwise, if I want to consider this condition, that is this distance should be 1 should be greater than this value, then this difference should be less than 1. For this difference to be less than 1, I will require D minimum to be greater than 2 times of T dash. So with that particular conclusion, I can say that D minimum, substituting for D minimum, I can easily state that my T dash value should be less than D minimum divided by 2. Therefore, the theorem states that if T dash represents the error detecting capability, because here we have assumed that T dash represents the total number of errors, and it says that T dash is less than D minimum by 2, then in order to correct this much of error, I will require a linear block code with a minimum distance can correct up to the errors only if T is less than or equal to D minimum minus 1 whole thing divided by 2, where T here represents the error correcting capability. So if we know what is the D minimum value, and if I substitute for D minimum, I can easily say how many errors can my linear block code can correct. So if D minimum is equal to 2, 2 minus 1 whole thing divided by 2, 1 by 2. That is, its error correcting capability is not even 1. If my minimum distance is equal to 3, then 3 minus 1 divided by 2 is equal to 1. That is, my linear block code has error correcting capability of 1. That means that it can detect and correct up to 1 error. So it can detect up to D minimum by 2 errors, but it can correct up to D minimum minus 1 divided by 2 errors. So now let us study how to construct a single error correcting Hamming code. So while generating a particular code or while decoding a particular code, we know that two important matrices are to be considered. One is our generator matrix G and another one is our parity check matrix H. So suppose n and k values are given, we always expect a parity matrix P to be given, because without P we cannot form the matrix G, and without G we cannot identify H or H transpose. Suppose if G value is not given or the matrix G is not given, then how to design an encoder and how to design a decoder. That part we are going to study in this particular topic. So let us see how to construct a H transpose matrix. So for H transpose matrix, two important things have to be considered. First thing is H transpose will never include row of all zeros. That is the first point that we have to remember. Because if you include row of all zeros, that means that syndrome value you may get it as 0. When syndrome value is equal to 0, that clearly says that there is no error in the received code vector. So in order to eliminate that particular point, we should take care that your H transpose should not contain row of all zeros. And the second point is the last n minus k rows of H transpose must be chosen to be an identity matrix. That is quite obvious, because your H transpose will be of the form parity matrix and in minus k. So we can easily write in minus k if you know what is n value and what is k value. But this parity matrix, that we need to write each and every row based on certain condition. What are those conditions? That let us study. So now after choosing H, we can easily obtain G and H by using these basic equations. But let us see initially how to obtain this H. So each row in H transpose, we know that has n minus k entries. That is, it is having n minus k columns. Since each row has n minus k entries, which can be either 0 or 1, we have to make sure that we are choosing 2 power n minus k minus 1 distinct rows of H transpose to be very unique. So why we are taking this as minus 1, that is 2 power n minus k minus 1, because we are skipping the row of all zeros. So the total number of possible combinations are 2 power n minus k minus 1. Okay, and we know that the total code word length is always equal to n. Therefore, whatever the combinations you will obtain, those combinations must always be greater than or equal to n. So for that condition, we will rewrite this equation as 2 power n minus k minus 1 must be greater than or equal to n. For example, if I take my n value to be 4 and k value to be 2, then 2 power 4 minus 2, that is 2 square, that is 4, minus 1 will be 3. 3 greater than or equal to n, where n is equal to 4. So this condition will fail. That means that you cannot choose n equal to 4 and k equal to 2. Similarly, if I consider one more example with n is equal to 3 and k is equal to 2, that will also fail. Let me take n is equal to 6 and k is equal to 3. So 6 minus 3 will be 3. So 2 cube will give you 8. 8 minus 1 is 7. 7 greater than or equal to 6. So this condition holds good. Therefore, you are free to choose n is equal to 6 and k is equal to 3. So initially, be careful while choosing your n and k values to satisfy this particular condition. Now, by taking this particular condition, take logarithm on both the sides, that is LHS and RHS. You will get n minus k to be greater than or equal to log 2 of n plus 1. So this base 2 we are taking because we are dealing with the binary data. If you are not considering the binary data, then you have to change the base of logarithm accordingly. If it is decimal, take 10. If it is octal, take 8, and so on. Okay. So after completely considering this equation and simplifying, you will obtain n value to be greater than or equal to k plus log 2 of n plus 1. So whatever I stated through this equation, the same thing can be verified even with this final equation. That is, the very first step that you are doing in the construction of H transpose is that write the last n minus k rows to be an identity matrix, and for the upper part of your H transpose, choose the rows very distinct and exclude the row of all zeros. At the same time, make sure that your n value will satisfy this condition. Apart from that, we do not have any restriction. That is, what are the combinations that you have to choose for a parity matrix. You can consider, for example, if k value is equal to 3, I can choose 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, right? But I cannot choose 0, 0, 0. But make sure that none of the rows are similar and you are not choosing the row of zeros. Now let me consider an example. Design a linear block code with minimum distance of 3 and message block size of 8 bits. So we are considering initially the condition for choosing our n value, right? So message block size is given to be 8. Take k value as 8. So n must be greater than or equal to 8 plus log 2 of n plus 1. Now choose a n value which is higher than k and go for trial and error method by substituting n value here and here. So if I choose 10, the condition will fail. If I choose n to be 11, again the condition fails. But if I choose n is equal to 12, the condition holds good. Therefore, I can choose n equal to 12 and k is equal to 8. So I need to design 12,8 linear block code. Next step is write down your H transpose. So we know that our H transpose will always be in this form, that is parity matrix and identity matrix of the size n minus k. n is 12 and k is 8. Therefore, identity matrix size is 4 cross 4 that we are writing over here. Okay. Now, from the remaining combinations, that is, you cannot consider the combinations whatever you have considered for identity matrix. That means that skip those 4 combinations. Along with that, skip one more combination, that is all 0 combination. Except those 5 combinations, you are free to choose any of these combinations to write the to design the parity matrix. So not necessarily the same parity matrix, you can write the combinations in some random orders also. That is also a valid H transpose matrix. So we know what is P. Our generator matrix G is always in the form of I, K and P. K value is equal to 8. Therefore, write an identity matrix of the size 8 cross 8 first, and whatever the parity matrix you have in H transpose, rewrite it as it is, because we want a parity matrix over here. So now we have a generator matrix. Try to generate the code C, which is equal to D into G. So in the previous sessions we have already discussed how to generate a code vector with the help of G and the message vector D. You can go for generating D. And once if you generate D and G, choose some random R value. Without error, calculate the syndrome. Introduce error at certain bits and try to calculate the syndrome. You should get 0 value and non-zero value respectively without introducing error and with introducing the errors.